Is AI the new Oracle of Delphi? Forget crystal balls and dusty scrolls. What if the most powerful oracle of our time isn't a mystical figure, but a complex algorithm? We're diving into the astonishing parallels between the ancient Oracle of Delphi and today's cutting-edge AI. Could the future of prophecy be found in lines of code? For millennia, humanity has sought answers from the unknown, from ancient prophecies to modern algorithms. We live in a world brimming with uncertainty, constantly yearning for guidance, for a glimpse into tomorrow. This fundamental human desire for foresight and meaning has driven us to consult everything from the stars to sacred texts, from wise elders to, in ancient Greece, the enigmatic pronouncements of the Oracle of Delphi. This revered sanctuary, nestled on the slopes of Mount Parnassus, was considered the navel of the world, a place where the divine touched the mortal and where the future could perhaps be glimpsed. Its prophecies, often ambiguous and open to interpretation, shaped empires, guided personal destinies, and offered a unique form of psychological comfort in a chaotic world. Today, however, a new form of oracle is emerging, one built not on mystical vapors or divine inspiration, but on vast data sets and complex algorithms. Artificial intelligence. AI systems are now capable of predicting trends, recommending choices, and even generating insights that feel eerily prescient. They are transforming industries, reshaping our daily lives, and challenging our very definitions of knowledge and foresight. But are these digital pronouncements truly different from the ancient oracles? Are we witnessing a new era of digital divination, or are we just seeing our own reflections in the data? Is AI merely a sophisticated mirror, or does it possess a genuine capacity to reveal truths previously hidden? Today, on Echoes of Olympus, we embark on a profound journey to explore these questions. We will delve into the historical significance and allure of the Oracle of Delphi, examining its methods, its impact, and the intricate dance between prophecy and interpretation. Then, we will transition to the world of modern AI, comparing its algorithmic oracles to the ancient one. Finally, we will navigate the future, emphasizing the importance of human wisdom beyond algorithms. Join us as we uncover whether artificial intelligence is becoming the new, all-knowing Oracle of Delphi, and if its insights are truly divine or merely a mirror of our own biases. The eternal quest for answers. From the dawn of consciousness, humanity has been driven by an insatiable hunger for knowledge, for understanding, and perhaps most profoundly, for answers about the future. This eternal quest is not merely intellectual, it is deeply existential. We seek to understand our place in the cosmos, to predict the unpredictable, and to find meaning in the chaos of existence. This fundamental human desire for foresight and meaning has manifested in countless forms across civilizations and millennia. In ancient societies, this quest often led to the sacred, to figures and places believed to possess a direct line to the divine or to hidden truths. Shamans communed with spirits, priests interpreted omens, and seers peered into the future through various divinatory practices. These figures served a crucial societal role, providing guidance, solace, and a sense of order in a world often perceived as arbitrary and dangerous. They were the intermediaries between the known and the unknown, offering a glimpse into what lay beyond the veil of immediate perception. Among the most famous and influential of these ancient sources of wisdom was the Oracle of Delphi. Nestled high on the slopes of Mount Parnassus, overlooking the Gulf of Corinth, Delphi was not just a temple, it was a spiritual epicenter, considered by the ancient Greeks to be the omphalos, the navel or center of the world. For over 1,000 years, from the 8th century BCE to the 4th century CE, kings, generals, philosophers, and common citizens alike journeyed to this sacred site, seeking guidance from Apollo, the god of prophecy, through his priestess, the Pythia. Their questions ranged from matters of state, whether to go to war, where to found a new colony, to deeply personal dilemmas, whom to marry, how to cure an illness. The allure of Delphi lay in its perceived connection to absolute truth, a source of insight untainted by human bias or earthly limitations. The very act of consulting the oracle was a profound ritual, a testament to humanity's enduring need for clarity in a world shrouded in uncertainty. It provided a framework for decision-making, a sense of cosmic order, and a psychological comfort that transcended mere logic. The oracle's pronouncements, though often cryptic, were taken as divine guidance, shaping the course of history and countless individual lives. This ancient impulse, the yearning for guidance, for a glimpse into tomorrow, for a deeper understanding of the forces that shape our lives, has not diminished. It has merely evolved. In our modern age, as traditional sources of authority and meaning are questioned, and as the pace of change accelerates, the desire for answers remains as potent as ever. But where do we turn now? Is this ancient impulse finding a new home, a new manifestation in the algorithms and data streams of artificial intelligence? Are we, in our digital quest for certainty, building a new kind of oracle, one that promises answers not from the gods, but from the very fabric of information itself? This is the central question that guides our exploration. Delphi's enigmas, prophecy and interpretation. The Oracle of Delphi was not a simple fortune teller. It was a complex institution, a sacred theater where the divine and the human intersected. At its heart was the Pythia, the priestess of Apollo, who served as the conduit for the gods' pronouncements. Chosen from among the local women, she would purify herself, chew laurel leaves, and sit on a tripod over a chasm from which, it was believed, intoxicating vapors arose. In this altered state of consciousness, she would utter words, often in a trance-like state, that were then interpreted by the temple priests and delivered to the querent. The methods of the Delphic oracle were shrouded in mystery and ritual, contributing to its immense authority and allure. The Pythia's pronouncements were rarely straightforward. They were often ambiguous, poetic, and open to multiple interpretations. This ambiguity was not a flaw, it was a feature, a testament to the oracle's profound understanding of human psychology and the unpredictable nature of fate. Consider some famous examples: Croesus and the Persian Empire. Perhaps the most famous example involves Croesus, the wealthy king of Lydia, who consulted the oracle about whether he should attack the Persian Empire. The oracle famously replied, "If Croesus crosses the Halys River, a mighty empire will be destroyed." Croesus, interpreting this favorably, attacked and was utterly defeated, and his own mighty empire was destroyed. The prophecy was true, but its interpretation was left to the querent, reflecting his own biases and desires. Athens and the wooden walls. During the Persian Wars, when Athens sought guidance, the oracle advised them to trust in their wooden walls. Some interpreted this as a literal wooden palisade, but the astute Themistocles understood it to mean their fleet of wooden ships, which ultimately saved Athens at the Battle of Salamis. Here, the oracle's ambiguity forced critical thinking and strategic interpretation rather than providing a simple answer. These examples highlight a crucial aspect of the Delphic experience. The prophecy was only half the equation. The interpretation was the other. The querent's mindset, their existing beliefs, and their willingness to engage in deep reflection played a significant role in how the oracle's words were understood and acted upon. The oracle did not provide definitive answers as much as it provided a framework for self-discovery and decision-making. It forced individuals and states to confront their own assumptions, fears, and aspirations. The psychological comfort and societal role the oracle played in ancient times cannot be overstated. In a world without scientific method or advanced data analysis, the oracle offered a sense of order, a belief that even in chaos, there was a higher intelligence at play. It provided a sanctioned outlet for anxiety, a place where profound questions could be asked, and where the weight of decision-making could, for a moment, be shared with the divine. It fostered a collective sense of destiny and provided a powerful narrative for historical events. The oracle's influence extended beyond mere prediction. It shaped policy, justified actions, and provided a moral compass, however ambiguous, for the ancient world. It was a source of authority that transcended earthly power, a testament to humanity's enduring need for guidance and meaning in the face of an uncertain future. But how does this ancient system of prophecy and interpretation compare to the new oracles of our digital age? AI's algorithmic oracles. Fast forward several millennia from the hallowed halls of Delphi, and we find ourselves in a new era of prophecy, one powered not by divine inspiration, but by silicon and code. Artificial intelligence, in its myriad forms, has emerged as our modern-day oracle, offering insights, predictions, and even creative content at a scale and speed unimaginable to the ancient world. From the mundane to the profound, AI is increasingly shaping our decisions, our perceptions, and our very understanding of the future. At its core, AI operates as an algorithmic oracle, processing vast datasets to identify patterns, correlations, and probabilities. These patterns then form the basis of its pronouncements. Consider some of the most common forms of AI that function as our contemporary seers. Predictive analytics. This is perhaps the most direct parallel to ancient prophecy. AI models analyze historical data to forecast future trends. In finance, they predict market movements. In healthcare, they forecast disease outbreaks. In urban planning, they anticipate traffic patterns. These predictions, while based on statistical models, can feel eerily accurate, guiding decisions that impact millions. Recommendation engines. Platforms like Netflix, Amazon, and Spotify use AI to predict what movies you'll like, what products you'll buy, or what music you'll enjoy. These systems, by anticipating your desires and guiding your choices, act as personal oracles, subtly shaping your consumption habits and even your tastes. They know what you want before you do, or at least, they are designed to make you think they do. Large language models, LLMs. Tools like ChatGPT and other generative AIs can produce coherent, contextually relevant text, answer complex questions, and even engage in philosophical debates. Their ability to synthesize information and generate novel responses can feel like consulting an all-knowing sage. They can offer advice, summarize vast amounts of knowledge, and even simulate creative thought, blurring the lines between information retrieval and genuine insight. Diagnostic AI. In fields like medicine, AI can analyze medical images, X-rays, MRIs, with incredible accuracy, often detecting anomalies that human eyes might miss. It can assist in diagnosing diseases, predicting patient outcomes, and even suggesting treatment plans. For a patient, a diagnosis from an AI can feel like a definitive pronouncement, a glimpse into their biological future. While AI's predictions are based on data patterns and statistical probabilities, they can still be perceived as mysterious or even prophetic. The sheer complexity of the algorithms, the vastness of the data they process, and the often unforeseen insights they generate can evoke a sense of awe, similar to the reverence felt for the Delphic oracle. We feed them our questions, our data, our desires, and they return answers that, while lacking divine inspiration, possess a powerful data-driven authority. The black box nature of some advanced AI models, where the internal workings are opaque even to their creators, further enhances this sense of enigma, making their pronouncements feel less like calculations and more like revelations. The question then becomes, how much of this perceived prophecy is genuine insight? And how much is merely a reflection of the data we feed it and the biases we bring to its interpretation? The echo chamber of expectation. Both the ancient Oracle of Delphi and our modern AI oracles, despite their vastly different mechanisms, share a profound commonality. Their pronouncements are often filtered through the lens of human expectation, bias, and desire. This creates a powerful feedback loop. an echo chamber where we tend to hear what we want to hear, reinforcing our existing beliefs and potentially leading us astray. At Delphi, the Pythia's ambiguous statements were a masterstroke of psychological genius. They rarely offered a definitive yes or no. Instead, they provided cryptic verses that required interpretation. This ambiguity allowed the querent to project their own hopes, fears, and biases onto the prophecy. If a king wanted to go to war, he would interpret the oracle's words as a divine endorsement. If he sought peace, he would find that meaning within the same pronouncement. This phenomenon, known as confirmation bias, is a fundamental aspect of human cognition. We tend to seek out, interpret, and remember information in a way that confirms our pre-existing beliefs or hypotheses. Consider the story of Croesus again. The oracle's prophecy was perfectly true, but Croesus's interpretation was colored by his ambition. He heard what he wanted to hear, that an empire would be destroyed, assuming it would be his enemies. The oracle, in its wisdom, provided a truth that could be understood only in hindsight after the querent's own actions had shaped the outcome. The psychological comfort derived from consulting the oracle often came not from a clear answer, but from the act of seeking guidance, which then empowered the querent to act, believing they had divine sanction. Now let's turn to our AI oracles. While they operate on data and algorithms, they are far from immune to reflecting our biases. In fact, they often amplify them. AI systems are trained on vast data sets, which are themselves products of human creation and thus inherently contain human biases, prejudices, and societal inequalities. If the data reflects a biased world, the AI will learn and perpetuate those biases in its predictions and recommendations. This is not a flaw in the AI's logic, but a reflection of the data it consumes. Furthermore, the very design of many AI systems, particularly recommendation engines, is to keep us engaged. They learn our preferences, our clicks, our viewing habits, and then feed us more of what we already like or agree with. This creates a digital echo chamber, a personalized reality where our existing viewpoints are constantly reinforced, and dissenting opinions or challenging information are filtered out. We are, in essence, constantly being shown a reflection of ourselves, a digital mirror that confirms our own biases and desires. This can lead to reinforced prejudices. If an AI is trained on data reflecting historical biases in hiring, lending, or law enforcement, it can perpetuate and even exacerbate those biases in its decisions, leading to discriminatory outcomes. Polarization and division. Social media algorithms, by prioritizing engagement, often amplify emotionally charged content and push users towards more extreme viewpoints, creating ideological silos and deepening societal divides. Misinformation and disinformation. If an AI is fed false or misleading information, it can process and present it as fact, further entrenching erroneous beliefs within an echo chamber. This over-reliance on AI for critical decision-making, mistaking correlation for causation, is a significant danger. Just as Croesus misinterpreted the oracle's words to his detriment, we risk misinterpreting AI's predictions as absolute truths, failing to account for the biases in the data, the limitations of the algorithms, or the complex, unpredictable nature of human behavior. The comfort of a seemingly definitive answer from an AI can lull us into a false sense of security, preventing us from engaging in the critical thinking and nuanced judgment that true wisdom demands. The question then becomes, how do we break free from these echo chambers, both ancient and modern, and cultivate a wisdom that transcends mere prediction and reflects a more complete, unbiased truth? Navigating the future. Wisdom beyond algorithms. If AI is indeed our new oracle, then the lessons from Delphi become more critical than ever. The oracle's power lay not just in its pronouncements, but in the human capacity for interpretation, critical thinking, and the application of wisdom. As we navigate a future increasingly shaped by algorithms, the emphasis must shift from merely receiving predictions to cultivating the human wisdom necessary to interpret, question, and ultimately guide these powerful tools. True wisdom, unlike mere data processing, involves understanding, not just prediction. It encompasses critical thinking and skepticism. Just as the ancient Greeks learned to critically evaluate the oracle's ambiguous pronouncements, we must approach AI's outputs with a healthy dose of skepticism. This means questioning the data sources, understanding the limitations and biases of the algorithms, and recognizing that correlation does not equal causation. It's about asking why and how, not just what. Titodai. Ethical reasoning and values. AI can optimize for efficiency, profit, or even engagement, but it cannot inherently understand or apply moral principles, empathy, or justice. These are uniquely human domains. The ethical implications of AI, from autonomous weapons to biased algorithms, demand human wisdom to set boundaries, define values, and ensure that technology serves humanity's highest ideals, not its lowest impulses. We must actively embed our values into the design and deployment of AI systems. Contextual understanding and nuance. Human wisdom thrives on context, intuition, and an understanding of the unspoken. It's the ability to read between the lines, to understand cultural nuances, and to apply knowledge with discretion. AI, while capable of processing vast amounts of information, often struggles with the subtle complexities of human situations, the emotional undertones, and the unpredictable nature of human behavior. This nuanced understanding is crucial for navigating complex social and political landscapes. Creativity and originality. While AI can generate art, music, and text that mimic human creativity, its output is fundamentally based on patterns learned from existing data. It can combine and remix, but it lacks the capacity for genuine originality, the spark of inspiration that comes from lived experience, emotional depth, and a unique perspective on the world. Human creativity remains an unparalleled force for innovation and problem-solving. Empathy and human connection. Wisdom often involves empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. This is a uniquely human trait, crucial for leadership, negotiation, and building meaningful relationships. AI, by its very nature, cannot feel or empathize, limiting its capacity for true wisdom in human-centric domains. The human touch, the ability to connect and inspire, will remain irreplaceable. Dealing with the unknown and ambiguity. Human wisdom is adept at navigating ambiguity, making decisions with incomplete information, and adapting to unforeseen circumstances. The ancient Greeks understood that life is full of uncertainties, and the oracle's ambiguity reflected this. AI, while powerful with data, can struggle when faced with truly novel situations or when the data is insufficient or contradictory. Human adaptability and resilience are essential for navigating truly uncharted territory. The future is not about AI replacing human wisdom, but about a symbiotic relationship where AI serves as a powerful tool to augment our capabilities, freeing us to focus on the higher-order thinking, ethical considerations, and creative endeavors that define our humanity. We must actively cultivate our own wisdom, ensuring that as our tools become more intelligent, we, as humans, become even wiser. The challenge is to harness the immense power of AI without losing sight of the profound, nuanced, and ethically grounded wisdom that has guided humanity for millennia. It is this wisdom that will ensure AI remains a servant, not a master, and that its insights truly contribute to the betterment of humanity. Conclusion. So, is AI the new Oracle of Delphi? Our journey through history and technology suggests a nuanced answer. AI, with its unparalleled capacity for data processing and algorithmic prediction, certainly functions as a powerful modern oracle, offering insights and guidance that can shape our decisions and our future. It provides a form of foresight, a glimpse into probabilities and patterns that were once hidden from human perception. In this sense, the ancient human quest for answers has indeed found a new, technologically advanced home. However, the crucial distinction lies in the nature of the prophecy and the role of interpretation. The Oracle of Delphi's pronouncements, though ambiguous, were imbued with a sense of divine wisdom, requiring profound human interpretation and ethical consideration. AI's outputs, while incredibly sophisticated, are fundamentally data-driven. They reflect the patterns and biases inherent in the data they are trained on, and they lack the consciousness, empathy, and moral reasoning that define true human wisdom. AI can tell us what is likely to happen based on data, but it cannot tell us why it matters or what we should do about it from a moral or ethical standpoint. The true power, then, lies not in the oracle itself, whether ancient or modern, but in the wisdom of the querent. Just as the Athenians wisely interpreted the wooden walls prophecy and Croesus tragically misinterpreted his, our ability to critically evaluate, ethically interpret, and wisely apply the insights provided by AI will determine its ultimate impact. The danger is not that AI will become too intelligent, but that we, as humans, will become too reliant, too uncritical, and too willing to abdicate our own capacity for wisdom. Therefore, the future is not about AI replacing the oracle, but about human wisdom guiding the new digital oracle. It's about cultivating the critical thinking, ethical reasoning, and nuanced understanding that allows us to leverage AI's immense power for the betterment of humanity rather than allowing it to amplify our biases or lead us blindly. The eternal quest for answers continues, but the responsibility for wisdom remains firmly in human hands. The Oracle of Delphi, in its ancient wisdom, always reminded us that the answers we seek are often found within ourselves, and that remains true, even in the age of artificial intelligence. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the Echoes of Olympus channel for more deep dives into mythology, philosophy, and the human experience, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And remember, the most profound answers are often found not in the data, but in the wisdom of the human heart.